Look at the figure of Jesus himself here. For one thing, the face is very different. Da Vinci tends to go for a more delicate face, longer and narrower. Da Vinci also understands three-dimensional space far better than whoever tried to fix his painting. If you look at the plate and bowl in front of Jesus in the picture, you'll see that in the image on your left, the one that has been quote-unquote repaired over the centuries, the three-dimensional space on that is totally wrong. It's kind of a deformed, square-looking sort of thingy-majiggy plate. On the right-hand side, the Da Vinci original, you'll see that the three-dimensional space is far more accurate. It's a far better image of a plate. Part of the frustration with the Last Supper is that Da Vinci took so much time with each and every face and character, trying to create a face that fit with the character or personality of the person being depicted. And half of that detail's gone. Half of the faces are gone on some of these guys. What we do have, though, that gives us insight are Da Vinci's sketches. This is one of the sketches, and there are numerous sketches for every single one of the disciples in Da Vinci's Last Supper. Da Vinci created these studies in order to get the facial details exactly right for the characters he wanted to paint, and those sketches, still around today, give us an insight that the painting in its decayed state no longer can give us. Some of those sketches also cast light on some of the stuff that we just can't figure out anymore because so little of it is actually left on the wall. For example, there are tons of sketches of hands and arms, Da Vinci's weak spot. And they give us insight into one of the really confusing parts of the Last Supper. On your left-hand side, I had to think about which was left and right there for a sec. On your left-hand side is this really weird sketch of a guy with his arm like cranked behind him at a weird angle on his hand. You can see the line that defines his hand going out to the side. Again, Da Vinci spends a lot of time practicing with the arm and the way the wrist connects and the hand connects. And a lot of questions have been raised about why on earth Da Vinci would draw the arm that way. It's not natural. But in fact, that arm does appear in the painting, and it's actually caused a lot of problems. If you look, we've lost most of where the wrist area would be, and there have been a lot of suggestions about where on earth that hand with the knife is coming from. Some people see a wrist actually extending to the right beyond the body. Some people have actually seen a wrist going down under the table, but in all likelihood it's actually most likely that the wrist does come out of that blue sleeve, as weird as the angle is, simply because that's the way Da Vinci's sketch actually depicts the arm being drawn. Weird, yes, but it's Da Vinci, and Da Vinci is not good at hands and wrists. It's his only weakness. There's one last thing I have to mention before we move on from the Last Supper. In the past, I've had a number of students who are big fans of Dan Brown's Da Vinci Codex, and I had a guy one semester who believed the fiction book was not fiction, it was all really true. One of the things that's pointed out and emphasized in that book is the image of John the disciple, John the beloved, in the Last Supper. This is the picture of John in the center here. Many scholars have argued that John looks very effeminate, and Dan Brown in his fiction, pretend, made up, story says that this is not only John the disciple, it also represents Mary Magdalene because it's so feminine, it doesn't have a beard, it must be a girl. I would like to remind you of the other two pictures that we've looked at, John the Baptist and the male angel Uriel. In the works of Leonardo da Vinci, just because it looks like a girl definitely does not mean it's a girl, okay? This is most likely the disciple John, and yeah, it's a boy. But it looks like a girl. Yeah, it does. Welcome to Da Vinci's world. Okay? The Last Supper is one of Da Vinci's masterworks. It is a masterpiece not only mathematically, but also in the details in the faces and in the way that Da Vinci captures this very dramatic moment in time. The problem, of course, is its decay, its deterioration. We're doing everything we can to preserve it, but even with modern preservation techniques, we don't know how long the Last Supper is going to remain, simply because Da Vinci's method was not good for preserving things. Da Vinci has that problem. The other major work of Da Vinci's that, if you know anything about Da Vinci, you probably know, has preservation problems too.